poker, and exciting high-limit slots, there's something for everyone to enjoy. From luxurious accommodations and exquisite dining at La Brisa to live entertainment and handcrafted cocktails at Temp Lounge, we thank you for choosing us as the premier casino, resort, brunch, and date night spot in Miami. Reimagined, redesigned. Rediscover Mikasuki Casino and Resort online at mikasuki.com.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro, and when it's time for your next move, trust the brand the Miami Marlins trust. The Good Greek, as the National Mover of the Year and Florida's most preferred, Good Greek will make your move a home run every time. Whether it's across town or across the country, trust America's best mover to get you there safely. Schedule your move today at goodgreek.com. The official mover of your Miami Marlins and National Mover of the Year, Good Greek.
Good Greek, moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Step up to the plate with Terminix, the leader in pest protection for almost 100 years. We don't just hit home runs against termites. Since 1927, Terminix has defended homes and businesses nationwide from all kinds of pest curveballs. Trust Terminix to protect what matters most. Visit Terminix.com/Marlins to learn more. Because no one strikes out termites and pests like Terminix.
Miami Marlins fans, we celebrate every victory together. But when life throws you a curveball, whether you're injured at work, hurt in an accident, or facing a disability, you need a team that knows how to win. At Werner Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia, we fight for you in personal injury, workers' compensation, and disability cases. With decades of experience, we make sure you get the benefits and compensation you deserve. Let us step up to the plate for you. Werner Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia, where Miami's injured find their strength. Call us now or visit wernerhoffman.com. Let's win this together.
Thanks for listening to Miami Marlins Baseball. Marlins Baseball is brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. With the 10th Inning Show, here's the voice of the Marlins, Jack McMullen.
Great win for the Marlins, and I'll tell you, this one was far less stressful than Friday night's win. Friday night's win was way more fun. Don't get it twisted. That was 13-12, and it was the craziest game I've ever had the privilege of calling. But this one felt tidy. It felt good. And when you limit the New York Yankees, who are number one in baseball in homers, number 3 in OPS, and top 3 in runs scored as well in the game, that feels good when you limit them to a shutout victory and just 2 base hits. It started with Yuri Perez, and it came all the way through. Ronnie Enriquez, Tyler Phillips, and Calvin Fauché slammed the door on the Yanks. Final score, the Marlins 2, the Yankees nothing. Jack McMullen here guiding you through a 10th inning show with Ahmed Jordan in studio at the flagship Fox Sports 940 Miami. And again, today started with Yuri Perez. Yuri, the starter and winner, he is now 4-3. Yuri Perez went 6 innings, a 2-hit shutout ball. He punched out 5 and walked 3. It took him 88 pitches, 52 for strikes, but that fastball was working for Yuri, and it was just same stuff, different day for Yuri Perez. This guy, over his last 6 starts, has an ERA in the very low ones. It's unbelievable what this guy is doing. He had a 1.29 ERA in the month of July, and he just added 6 scoreless on top of that. It was absolutely amazing and a privilege to watch Yuri Perez go about his business today. And in terms of run production, the Gus Bus waits for absolutely no one. First 2 plate appearances for Agustin Ramirez against Cam Schlittler, the starter for the Yankees. He belted 2 solo homers. They were both shot out of a cannon, and it was almost an identical spot in left center field. One slammed off the Amarant Bank signage in left center, and one just a little bit to the right of that in the alleyway in left center field that banged off the white facing in left center field. But Agustin Ramirez, one was on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball over the heart of the plate, the other on a sweeper off the plate away. Agustin Ramirez, Yuri Perez, and then a scoreless 7th from Ronnie Enriquez. A 1-2-3-8 from Tyler Phillips and a scoreless 9th for the save for Calvin Fauché is how this ball game came about. When we come back, we'll listen to the highlights. But I do have one more thing to play for you. I totally forgot. Liam Hicks just caught a shutout. Hicks also singled today, and Liam Hicks was standing by with Steven Strom after this one.
Why do these wins feel a little bit different against this team in front of this crowd? I think it's just the atmosphere for sure. Fans are making it feel like they're really special games, and I mean, we're playing good teams. These are the wins you need to get if you want to be one of those really good teams, and we feel like we are.
We saw 25 runs total yesterday between these two teams. You caught a shutout tonight. What separates Yuri from the rest?
I mean, I think he's just scratching the surface of what he could do. I think if you ask him, he didn't have his best stuff tonight, and that's just like a testament to how good his stuff is. I mean, he's going to compete like no other, and he's going to battle with what he's got, and I mean, he's got some crazy gifts.
What happened with the pitch comm? I saw you guys going back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know. He couldn't hear it. It wasn't working. It was only working every few pitches, so we had to figure that out. We were going to have to go old school if we couldn't figure it out.
How do you assess where this team is at right now?
I think we're just taking it day by day. I think everyone in that clubhouse knows how good we can be, and I don't think we're putting too much pressure on ourselves. I think we're literally taking it day by day, just preparing for that day and doing whatever we can.
Great win tonight, Hicksy. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen, and thank you, Hicksy. When we come back, I listen to the highlights here. 10th inning show continues next on the Marlins Radio Network.
DQ
in the 6th inning. There's a shot to right center field and deep. That'll hit the wall on a bounce or two. Going to second is Marcy. That's his first major league hit. Jacob Marcy, a double in the 7th inning.
1-0 pitch. That one a ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. They're going to send Sanoha. That got under Caballero's glove. Marcy around third. He comes in to tie the game. And X, the possible winning run, is at third base.
Wildest games of the year for the Miami Marlins. First and third, Edwards is going line drive. That is a base hit. Marlins take the lead. Edwards will round second, go to third. Ramirez with an RBI single. 10-9 Miami.
This is absolutely insane, man. 111 off the bat. Augustino Ramirez stings it into left. In one hop, Dominguez. David Bednar hates this place. 2-1. Ramirez with a little dribbler right in front of the plate. Catcher Wells picks it up. X comes in and scores from third. In the craziest game of the year, it's a swinging bunt from the former Yankee prospect, Agustin Ramirez, to walk it off. Speed Demon X comes in from third. This game is over, and this team is electric.
$7 each. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC Phillips, just $7 each.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Hey, this is Max Meyer, and you're listening to the 10th Inning Show on the Marlins Radio Network.
Give us some juice, Max. Just got a shutout win over the New York Yankees thanks to 2 Agustin Ramirez solo homers and Yuri Perez going 6 scoreless innings against the Yanks. 2-0, the Marlins get the win, and they are now a game under 500 at 54-55. Meanwhile, the Yankees are 60-51. They had won 3 in a row. Now they've dropped the back 2, and the Marlins have officially taken the series over the New York Yankees. Here's how this ball game sounded. It seemed like the Yankees were going to open scoring against Yuri Perez in the top of the first. Yuri issued a leadoff walk to the Yankee leadoff man, Trent Grisham, the first hitter of the game. But then he struck out Jason Dominguez on a slider. He struck out Cody Bellinger on a curveball. But Grisham ended up stealing second base, putting himself in scoring position. Giancarlo Stanton, the former Marlin, lined a single out to left. But Kyle Stowers said, no, we're still scoreless. Over to Stanton on the way. That one a rocket. That is beyond the reach of the shortstop. Otto into left. They're going to try it. Stowers' throw coming home is perfect. Absolute bullseye from Kyle Stowers. Smoked off the bat at 111 miles an hour. Stowers got it on a couple of hops. He came up firing, and he had Grisham dead to rights at the plate. Beat him by 10 feet, and the inning is over. And in the bottom of the first, the Marlins counter. Xavier Edwards struck out. Kyle Stowers struck out. Cam Schlittler looked like he was settling in, but Agustin Ramirez hit a ball to the stratosphere. 2 men gone, and the 3-1 pitch. Augustine cranks out to left and deep. He didn't miss a stitch of it. Solo blast for Augustine, number 16 on the year. He got 98 over the heart of the plate and 112 on the way out. 421 feet, smacking off the Amaranth Bank sign in left center, and it's 1-0 Marlins at the bottom of the first. But there was another case of run prevention for Yuri Perez and the Marlins defense. And this time it came from a gaffe from the former Marlin Jazz Chisholm on the base paths when Paul Goldschmidt popped one up on the infield. 0-2. That one hit high in the air just beyond the infield dirt. Second baseman Edwards underneath. He trots into the infield dirt and he makes the catch and throw over to first. Jazz was dancing. I have no idea where he was going. But a high IQ play from Xavier Edwards doubles up Chisholm at first base. What a heads-up play from X. And what a bizarre read from the former Marlin Jazz Chisholm. 4-3 on the pop-up double play, and Chisholm is out on the base paths. Wow! It made no sense what Jazz Chisholm was doing, and we saw a shot of Aaron Boone having a stern conversation with Chisholm in the innings following that. I am curious to see what that is about, but it was just a base-running blunder from the former Marlin Jazz Chisholm, and he got doubled up at first base on that pop-out from Goldschmidt. Rinse and repeat, bottom of the fourth. The Marlins got their only other run. It came from the same guy, nearly identical outcome.
All right, here's the 1-2. I got a question for you guys. That's ripped left center field and deep. Grisham going back. It's going. It's gone. Goodbye. Steve Ramirez has hit his second home run of the game in as many at-bats against his former organization, the Yankees. 2 solo shots of the Marlins up 2-0.
Agustin Ramirez, again, the only run production the Fightin' Fish needed. Came off the bat of Agustin Ramirez with 2 solo blasts. After that, cruise control through the Marlins lineup, unfortunately, but fortunately, through the Yankee lineup, it was a 1-2-3 inning from Ronnie Enriquez in the 7th after Yuri Perez finished 6 scoreless. Then it was a 1-2-3 inning from Tyler Phillips in the 8th. 1-2-3, clean, tidy from Calvin Fauché in the 9th, and this is how the final out sounded.
All right, here's the 1-2. I got a question for you guys. That's ripped left center field and deep. Grisham going back. It's going.
But we had to hear it twice, that Agustin Ramirez solo shot to left center field. That was the second home run from Agustin. Do we have that final call? Let's see. Maybe not. That's okay. We will step aside.
I got a question for you guys. That's ripped left center field and deep.
And again, you know what? That's okay. We'll scrap it. When we come back, we'll hear from the skipper, Clayton McCullough. Also might give you an out-of-town scores update. That's coming up on the 10th inning show on the Marlins Radio Network.
Miami Marlins.
The plate. He was ready to do some damage. 1-2. Johnston swings. He rips one through the right side. That's the first major league knock. Welcome to the big leagues, Troy Johnston. 636 games in the minor leagues. And on the 5th pitch he sees in the major leagues, he has his first hits. That baseball makes its way over to the third base dugout, and that is going somewhere special for him. Month-old daughter Tatum are in attendance. 0-1. That one hit high in the air, out to right and deep. Walker is back at the track, and it's gone. The first home run as a Marlin for Graham Pauley. It comes in his 39th game. Graham Pauley, 103 off the bat, 384 feet into the Cardinal bullpen in right. And the Marlins open scoring in the second. It's 2-0 Fish. 2-1. That one hit in the air, out to right center field and deep. Sanoja and Sanchez converging. That one is caught. Sanoja went straight back, and then he took a sharp turn left, and he made the grab sliding. Javier Sanoja with a really nice play in center. That one looped into right center field. That is in for a base hit. That'll score Stowers from second base. Otto Lopez with a one-hopper to the right fielder Jordan Walker. Stowers comes in to score, and it's 3-0 Marlins in the top of the fifth. It was cool, yeah. 1-2. That one sprayed down the line. Tough play for Walker. He's working back. On the track, it's over his head, and it short hops off the wall. Myers chugging in. He will score from first base, and it's a pinch hit RBI double for Wag Attack. 4-0 Fish in the top of the sixth.
I've done that here again in the sixth.
First pitch here to Xavier Edwards. That one slapped down the right field line. Tough play for Walker again. It's 10th inning show continues on the Marlins radio network. A 2-0 win for your Fighting Fish, who are now just one game under 500 at 54-55. They got the win over the New York Yankees. We'll hear from the skipper, Clayton McCullough, in a moment. But before that, a check on the out-of-town scores. We do have finals from earlier today. Tampa beat the Dodgers in Tampa 4-0. The final score. Drew Rasmussen, the winner. Blake Snell, the starter and loser. He started his first game for the Dodgers since early April. Do have a final score in Chicago as well. Orioles beat the Cubs 4-3. Toronto beat Kansas City in Toronto 4-2. Max Scherzer was the starter and winner. Other final score, the Tigers bounced back from a tight loss in Philly last night to take down the Phillies 7-5. Tarek Skubal, the winner. Zach Wheeler was the loser. And it's funny, when you get Skubal, Wheeler on the hill, you would expect a 1-0 game. Instead, there were 12 combined runs in that one. We are the only other final score. There are some games in action, but a couple of games have yet to begin. In Bristol, Tennessee, the Bristol Motor Speedway, Spencer Strider against Chase Burns in Braves Reds. Again, first Major League Baseball game ever played in the state of Tennessee. Arizona is in Sacramento to take on the Athletics. Zach Gallen against JT Ginn tonight. Angels hosting the White Sox in Anaheim. It's Aaron Savali for the White Sox against Kyle Hendricks, the former Cub, for the Angels. And it's Cardinals Padres in San Diego. Randy Vasquez gets the ball for San Diego against Michael McGreevy and the Redbirds. We have Clayton McCullough. Let's hear from a happy skipper now.
Shutout. But so let's start with the pitching. Just how was Woody able to set the tone, especially given that wonky first inning?
Yeah. We know he's got terrific stuff, and it can be a tough lineup to navigate with their ability to, they control the strike zone very well. Historically, it's a group that forces you into the zone. I mean, that's the place you have to get them out. I think Yuri, over the whole outing, I think he did enough work to get him engaged into the at-bats. He got some, there were some long at-bats, but also some quick outs. So I think he was, overall terrific. Still to go 6 and did it under 90 pitches. And I think it was just when he needed to make some pitches, he did. After that first inning, that was a bizarre start to the game with some of the pitch comm difficulties. Recovered from that, and he really, got himself in a good groove. There were a couple of innings there in the middle that allowed his pitch count to stay down, get it back under control. So that's what Yuri is, I think, now. Once we've, he got past the first few starts out post, the rehab. We've just seen the pitcher start to come out more and more. And now how he's utilizing some secondary pitches early in counts to get first pitch strikes, how he's able to use his secondary well just to complement the fastball, which everyone knows is always going to be the big pitch for him. Great outing from him today. And you follow it up with, what the other guys behind him were able to do. Ronnie had a really nice, quick, efficient inning. Phillips, and then Calvin at the end of the day. I thought Calvin, that's probably some of the best collection of stuff and command that he's had in a while. And he was extremely sharp. So all 4 guys today threw well, and behind them defensively, I think we just made the plays that, were there. I think it's worth, the plate X made, very high baseball IQ. You have a good running with Jazz there on first. The potential where, maybe that ball is not caught and you can get a fast runner out at second and trade runners. And, Tough as the base runner at first got kind of hung out in no man's land, and X to, read that, see it, and quickly, turn that into a double play. And those are big plays in games that are going to, end up closely contested.
We've seen a lot of that high baseball IQ from X, it feels like, especially over the last month. Just how big of an impact do those types of plays make on a game?
Today, huge impact on that game. You never know how it ends up going if another person comes up to bat there. So to get out of an inning by, again, using his head and thinking, but that's, X, again, he said he's shown that over the course of the season as well. Otto has this group, They're savvy. I think they're in tuned. Coaches do a nice job. Our guys doing prepping them during a series where potentially those types of baseball IQ plays could be advantageous for us, and just to be ready for them. And it's another thing to be able to go out and then execute it when it's the game's going on. So, really heads up play by X.
Going from a dribbler to 2 home runs and against his former organization, just Gus.
Yeah, those were great swings, and I'm sure it felt maybe even a little extra special for it to happen against his former organization. And he really put great swings on both of those. Well hit out to left center field. And we've seen Gus do some really incredible things, throughout this season offensively. We've seen his ability to impact, and we think that and believe that his offensive ceiling is not close yet. Like, we're going to see continue with a better version of him as he gets more at bats. He understands how people are pitching him situations, and there's always a threat when Gus is in the box. Like, you feel it. And what a crazy sport where you're the hero one night for hitting the ball 6 feet, and then the next night, you combine for I don't know how far, but further than 6 feet for the runs.
And I know you've been a part of World Series team, but for these guys that have experienced that, do you feel like these games feel more to them with this crowd against this team?
I think you certainly feel the intensity, and you realize the importance of how every pitch matters, every at bat, and so yes, you can feel there's a real sense of urgency from our group the last couple of days. There's certainly a belief, and I think they feel like we can go out and play very well against anyone that's on our schedule, and understanding that also it takes winning games in a variety of ways to win series, to win a lot of games over the course of the season. Last night was, both offenses were performing at a high level, and today it was, much more. It was about pitching and playing solid defense, and Gus came through with a couple big knocks.
Talk so often about Stars is bad for his arm. I think that's 6 assists, 5 a month. Just what that aspect of his game.
Yeah, I mean, it's talking about run prevention being a real, I think, a cornerstone for how we are going to have a sustained run of success here over years. And it's good. It starts with the pitching, but the defense plays a big part in that. And that is not only guys, you make the plays that you have the chance to, the positioning comes into it, thinking, not giving up extra bases. And then also, as you mentioned, we're fortunate here. We're lucky we have, Stowers that can really throw. Dane can really throw. Now Marcy can really throw. We've seen Derek. So we're lucky to have a group that can at least put some threat into a third base coach, and as well as when they're given a chance to throw someone out, be able to erase runs off the scoreboard.
On that line, and I think that right when you guys hit the 80-game mark, I asked you what aspect you wanted to see the biggest improvement. You mentioned the defense. How much from that point to now you feel it improve in basically every aspect defensively?
Yeah, it feels that way, and I think we're gonna have to. And it's important for our players. They understand that. They work incredibly hard. Tyler Smarslock does a really nice job with the training that goes on pregame, not only just the ground ball work and the dry work they do, but also putting them in some situational positions with their pregame work, and then Blake with the outfielders. And I think it's a combination of, we have some skilled defenders as well that are prepared very well and appreciate and understand how important collecting outs is to winning major league games.
If I were to tell you after that Rocky series that on August 3rd you have a chance to get back to 500, what would you say?
I said there's always a chance. We were going to have to play much better in a lot of areas for that to happen. And I think that, and we have. I mean, we've pitched much better. We've played better defense. Offensively, our group they find ways to stress opponents. The at-bat quality, day in and day out, has been at a much higher level. And understand, you can't afford to give at-bats away in the big leagues. You make everyone work as hard as they can to record that out, and then it's the next person's job to go do the same thing. So, very, very proud of how we've continued to trend as the season's gone along, and we all know that there's more ahead, and we have to continue to play at this rate and better, and continue to improve to continue winning games with what we have ahead.
You guys have now won 6 consecutive series. I know this team has always been a confident bunch, but over the course of those last 6 series, where have you seen that confidence? Have you seen it go to another level?
I feel like every time they show up at the ballpark, there is an expectation now to win. I think the losses sting more, and that's a good thing. And so it's not only, believing you can do it, but also somebody's proving to yourself that you can, and you can, go beat anybody home, road. And it's as much just the standard that you set with how you have to play to win games. I think they're seeing that and understanding that's what it takes every day. You don't get a day off in the big league. So we have to keep our foot down on the gas here as we keep going on. But it's certainly a group that will show up tomorrow, and I expect them to come out and look to sweep.
Going back to the bullpen, Phillips was good again today. He's been great since June in a variety of roles. Just what do you think's been key for him the past 2 months now?
Yeah, well, since really early in the season, Phillips he floods the strike zone, and I think the continued improvement of it and the use of his curveball has been a big pitch for him. It's helped him versus left. He's always had the good sinker that he can get early contact. I mean, we've seen that from Tyler all season long. Is the efficiency at which he collects outs. He pounds the strike zone. He's going to force the opposition to beat him by swinging, which is what we preach to all of our guys. And I think his secondary pitches and how he utilizes those have continued to come along. And he's great to have in a short burst, the ability to give us length as well. So he's been a real key cog in that bullpen.
All right, that was the skipper, Clayton McCullough, who went at length. That was good stuff from Clay. 9.5 minutes from Clayton McCullough. How about that, Steven Strom?
Yeah, you should. You just beat the Yankees. Sit down for 20 minutes. Let's go. We want reaction. This team has a chance to get back to 500 tomorrow.
That's cool.
Come on.
That is the cool stuff. 54-55, your Miami Marlins. When we come back, we'll hear from Yuri Perez after his start, and then we'll get Steven Strom's takes. That's coming up next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Why choose a Sleep Number Smart?
1-2. Durbin goes again, but that one is a called third strike. 96 painted on the inside corner. And the Miami Marlins come to Milwaukee and take a series from the best team in the National League. It's the first time the Brewers have lost back-to-back games since July 2nd and 3rd. And these fish ride the long ball, and a sterling relief appearance from Tyler Phillips to another victory. Your Miami Marlins get the win over the Brewers at American Family Field in Milwaukee, 7-4 on Saturday night.
Right now in Kyle Stowers.
Woodruff seeing Kyle, first pitch. He's swinging away. He loops one beyond the outstretched glove of the shortstop Ortiz. It's dribbling into left for a base hit, and that is an RBI knock. X comes in to score from third. You don't have to hit it hard. It feels like he always does, but that's 73 miles an hour off the end of the bat. A little looper evaded the shortstop Ortiz, and it's 1-0 Fish in the top of the first. He'll start, but that is what Brandon Woodruff has done through his first 4 turns as a Brewer this year. And Hernandez rips one high in the air out to right. That's carrying pretty well. Collins is back at the track. It kept on going, and it's gone. Big Bird come again. Second homer of the weekend. And Heriberto Hernandez drills his 5th on the year. 2-1 Fish in the top of the 4th for Ronnie. Runner at second, nobody out. And the 0-2 to Contreras. Here's a hard roller over to the shortstop. Lopez, he'll go to third. Torrio tried it. Wiggler got the tag down, and they cut down Jackson Torrio. The all-time no-no. You never run to third base on a ground ball to your right, and Torrio was caught. All right, 10th inning show is rolling on here. A 2-0 shutout win for the Fish over the New York Yankees. They solidify the series win over the Yankees. They will go for a sweep tomorrow with Cabby on the hill. But today was because of Agustin Ramirez, his 2 solo homers, and also Yuri Perez. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs. He walked 3, punched out 5. Let's hear from Yuri after his start, translated by the great Louis Durante.
Able to shut out this Yankees lineup.
¿Qué pasó? No, bro, traduce que tú sí llevas.
¿Cómo pudiste mantener ese cero con los Yankees?
Bueno, preparándome, tratando de salir a competir ahí, no pendiente a que son los Yankees, sino a disfrutar del juego.
Yeah, just preparing myself, trying to do my best out there, not thinking too much that they're the Yankees, just doing my job.
What was going on in the first inning with the pitch count?
¿Qué está pasando con el pitch count en el primer
A veces no funcionaba, no sonaba, y a ninguno de los muchachos tampoco, y entonces en tiempo sí funcionaba. Tuvimos que pedir muchas veces tiempo, pero la umpire dijo que si volvía a pedir tiempo me iba a cantar una bola, y le dije que lo hiciera con la mano.
Yeah, so none of the pitch counts were working around the infield. Some of the infielders were not working as well. So we talked to the umpire. He told me that if I asked for timeout again, he was going to charge me with a ball. And then at the end, we decided just to go with, signaling with our hands.
How are you able to move past that distraction?
¿Cómo pudiste pasar esa distracción después del primer inning?
No, la cosa comenzaba a funcionar bien. Yo traté de divertirme de igual manera y de mantenerme concentrado con los picheos, tratar de sacarlo out y competir con el equipo.
Things were coming out right after that. I think I was able to, find my composure, and then just things were going out okay, and I continued doing that for several innings.
The stretch run that you've had since July is one of the best in baseball in a while. Do you think, the time you missed from the Tommy John, people kind of forgot about you? You're still younger than Paul Skeens, you're younger than the Brewers rookie who people are talking about.
Sí, has tenido un mes increíble de últimamente, que tú crees que ese tiempo que estuviste fuera, como que la gente medio se olvidó de ti un poquito, porque tú todavía sigues siendo menor que Paul Skeens y también el muchacho joven de Milwaukee que todo el mundo está hablando.
Bueno, no sé si se olvidan, pero si se olvidan, yo creo que estamos volviendo a que ellos nos recuerden de nuevo y estamos tratando de hacer buen trabajo, tratando de salir ahí, no importa la edad, sino a tratar de competir y enseñar lo que hay en el brazo.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually forgot about me, but we're working really hard to try to make sure they remember me again. Every time I go out there, I try to, perform to the best of my qualities, capabilities, right? And we're going to continue doing that as well.
Well, your defense behind you, Stars' throw, X speaking, Jazz, Holly makes a nice play later on.
Sí, hablando de esa defensa atrás de ti, Stowers con la jugada en el home, X confundiendo ahí a Josh, Holly también con una jugada de cabeza. Háblanos de esa defensa.
Bueno, no sé cómo explicar eso, pero los muchachos están haciendo un buen trabajo. Se están divirtiendo igual que yo, están tratando de ganar juegos, seguir disfrutándose el juego también. Y creo que eso que hicieron hoy fue increíble. Todas las jugadas me apoyaron súper bien en ese aspecto ahí, y creo que tengo que agradecerle por todo lo que están haciendo, pero lo están haciendo súper bien.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a specific word right there. They're doing an extraordinary job. Whatever they were doing, each inning, it's just like they're going out there, do their best, and they're having fun, which is just like me, which is the most important. Again, as a team, we're doing a great job, and I got to thank them a lot for the job they did today.
That was Yuri Perez after his start today. Again, 6 scoreless innings for him. Series victory for the Fish. That's 6 straight series wins, Steven Strom. Where are we going?
Where are we going? I'll first start with Yuri Perez. When I was interviewing Liam Hicks after I chatted with Alon Leishman, the Marlins assistant pitching coach, and he was shaking his head, and I'm like, what are you shaking your head about? He goes, dude, Yuri wasn't even that good today. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, he didn't even have his best stuff. Like he did not, he was not even on today. And he goes 6 shutout against the New York Yankees. We saw pure talent today. We saw a guy that was able to wiggle out of a couple of jams, but man, what he has done, Liam Hicks, second time those guys have worked together. I thought that was an underrated storyline today. Augustin Ramirez to ironically have the dribbler walk off yesterday and then hit 2 home runs. The second one, he's able to hit that sweeper outside the zone, Jack. That was one of the most impressive. I will put that, not to the degree of difficulty of Mason Miller, away from Kyle Stowers and able to go Oppo Taco for the grand slam. But it was very similar in the sense of the degree of difficulty.
Yeah.
That how can a human being do that? How can you get a sweeper outside of the zone like that and pull it to left field with that authority?
Yeah.
Incredible. Kyle Stowers, 0 for 4 today with 4 punch outs.
It was 4. No, it was 3 punch outs and a line drive double play.
And the Marlins still win.
Yeah.
You know, you looked at like I look at the Yankees right now, and they, I think, are kind of looking around, right, with no Aaron Judge. I say that, and then I think they just took 3 out of 4 against Tampa. What more does this team need to prove to you? If anyone doesn't believe in this Marlins team, I'm running out of answers to give you. They just beat the Brewers 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee. They just at least took the series. They could sweep the New York Yankees tomorrow.
Yeah.
Instead of me saying, I don't know why you don't believe, it's almost you're kind of being ignorant if you don't start believing in this team.
This one was better for the blood pressure than yesterday. I can't say that I liked this one more, but
of course
this one felt way more comfortable. Like this is a sustainable way to win for the sake of everybody's mental, emotional, and physical health. But in terms of theatrics, yesterday was amazing. And to be honest, like after that win yesterday, we were talking about it when we were walking out. Today not only feels like a little ho-hum after just a resounding shutout win, but it also feels like after yesterday, you're looking at this team and saying, if they're winning that game, they can win literally any kind of game. Literally any kind of game. So it's not surprising to see Agustin Ramirez be really the only guy with an offensive imprint on this game, and the Marlins win it convincingly. It didn't feel like a 2-run game. It felt like a 5-run game.
Dude, and to show where this team has come,
yeah,
the Marlins were winning games by the skin of their teeth in the beginning of the season. They needed Stowers. They needed Wagaman. They needed Myers. They needed guys to go. Like I remember that one national series they had taken over Washington. The bottom of the lineup was like 8 for 11. I mean, they needed things. They don't need that anymore.
No.
And it speaks to first the pitching. We've talked about it. But my thing is like with Yuri tonight, when everything is cooking, what does it look like? Because you just went 6 shutout against one of the best offensive teams in baseball. Granted, they don't have Aaron Judge. What does it look like for this team when they're all clicking?
Can I stamp something?
Sure.
By when we sit here on August 2nd, 2027, Yuri Perez will have a no-hitter to his name.
Okay.
In Major League
I like
Baseball.
that. That's
so
a good take.
In the next 2 years, Yuri Perez is a no-hitter to his name.
And the Marlins, this to me is unfathomable to be able to say on the air on August 2nd, 2025 at 7:17 Eastern Time. Tomorrow, the Marlins have a chance to get back to 500. This was a team that had gotten embarrassed at home by the worst team in baseball a couple of months ago in the Colorado Rockies, which felt like rock bottom. I'm going to be honest with you, audience.
Yeah.
9-win Colorado Rockies came into town and took 1, 2, 3 in a row. 2 months later, maybe even less than that, the Marlins have a chance to not only sweep the Yankees, but to get back to 500.
Less than 2 months later. That was on, oh man. I mean, the hot stretch began.
June 13th.
June 13th
was the hot stretch. They are 28, so now 29-14 since June 13th.
No, you know what? It might have been
maybe the end of May.
That Rocky series was the beginning of June. Rocky series was literally 2 months ago. It started 2 months ago. June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
This is surreal right now. What we're watching.
It's cool. It's cool. And then you go to Tampa and you lose the first one in Tampa by a run. It's like, oh man, here we go. And this is awesome. 2 more quick things. Number one, I like this Marcy kid. Oh my goodness.
He's pretty good, right?
Holy smokes. Another double today. Pair of walks. This guy's ridiculous right now. And then number 2, Griffin Conine. Good radio
Really
analyst.
good radio analyst.
Good radio
Let me give you 2 back. Marcy coming up here. I got to give a ton of credit to, of course, Marcy, but Peter Bendix and the staff, because they're bringing guys up and they are ready, Jack. How many times do we see prospects, guys that are younger, that have no MLB experience, get pushed through and they fail? We saw it with Jackson Holiday last year.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit too early. I don't know. I'm not in those decisions, but it feels like every time Peter Bendix and company make a decision that this guy is ready to come at the big league level, they're not only ready, but they're ready to produce. Jacob Marcy looks like he's been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, man.
Agustin Ramirez is looking like he's done this for a very long time. The impact from AAA has been palpable and it's been visible. Credit to them. And then, yes, Griffin did a great job today.
Brother, how can you not mention Big Bert in that?
Bert. Yes, thank you.
Come on,
Thank
Big
you.
Bert.
Thank you, Bert. Great example.
There you go. And great work by Ahmed Jordan today. Thank you so much in studio at the flagship for Stephen, for Craig, for Griffin. I'm Jack saying so long from Lone Depot Park. Final score today, the Marlins 2, the Yankees nothing. This has been a presentation of Miami Marlins baseball on the Marlins Radio Network.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved